The serial killer investigation has been the subject of public fascination for the last 13 years. Some called it the Lost Girls, or the Long Island serial killer, or the Gilgo Beach murders.
December 2010. Gilgo Beach, Long Island. A young officer searches the desolate coastline for a missing woman named Shannon Gilbert. The air is cold, the sand empty, the waves loud against the night. Instead of finding Shannon,
About the Gilgo Beach serial killer, the Gilgo Beach murders, 10 sets of human remains which were discovered in gruesome fashion along the Ocean Parkway.
police stumble on something else. Human remains wrapped in burlap, buried in the brush just off the sand.
Police found what appear to be 2 more sets of human remains.
Within days, 3 more bodies are uncovered. All young women, all in nearly identical conditions. The discovery shocks investigators. This is no single crime. This is a burial ground.
All of the women were bound at the head, at the midsection, or at the chest, and later at the legs. They were bound by burlap. The burlap was camouflage burlap used to hide, purposely hide the body.
The first 4 victims are quickly identified: Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, Maureen Brainard-Barnes. Melissa was just 24, from Buffalo. She vanished in 2009 after leaving her apartment in the Bronx. In the weeks after her disappearance, her younger sister received terrifying phone calls from a man mocking her. Investigators now believe it was the killer himself.
All 4 bodies were found in heavy brush within 500 yards of one another, dumped over the course of 18 months.
Megan was 22, a young mother from Maine. She was last seen leaving a Holiday Inn in Hauppauge. Her family says she only wanted to provide for her daughter.
We've been able to identify her, and that we're continuing our investigation not only with regard to the Gilgo 4, but all of the victims.
Amber Costello, 27, lived in West Babylon. She struggled with addiction but was close to her family. On the night she vanished, she left her house to meet a client. She never returned. Maureen Brainard-Barnes was 25, a single mother from Connecticut. She disappeared in 2007 after traveling to New York City for work. Her case had gone cold until she was identified among the Gilgo victims. Each woman's life ended the same way. Lured by a client, murdered, left in burlap near the water's edge. Forensic experts note the similarities. Same disposal method, same stretch of coastline, the work of one killer. The media seizes on the story. Reporters swarm the island. Helicopters buzz overhead. Headlines warn of the Long Island serial killer. Residents are terrified. Women are warned not to go out alone. But the investigation is already stalling. The case begins with Shannon Gilbert. She was last seen alive on May 1st, 2010, after a frantic 23-minute 911 call.
State police.
Yeah, there's somebody after me.
This 911 call from May 2010 was the last time that escort Shannon Gilbert was heard alive.
In the recording, she screamed that someone was chasing her. She ran barefoot through a gated neighborhood, banging on doors, begging for help. Multiple witnesses saw her, but by the time police arrived, she was gone. Months later, her disappearance leads investigators to Gilgo Beach. That search uncovers the other women, but Shannon herself is not found until 18 months later.
You stop it! No, please stop it, please! You stop it, please! No, what are you gonna do to me?
The night Shannon Gilbert went missing, her sister believes she may have been drugged and later died.
Her remains lying in the marsh. Authorities rule her death an accident, but her family insists she was murdered.
I just feel like they dropped the ball from the very beginning. They didn't allow the FBI to come in, and I just think that we definitely need somebody to come in independently and review this case.
To this day, her case is disputed. Meanwhile, the list of victims grows. More human remains are discovered along Ocean Parkway. Some date back as far as 1996. Several are dismembered. Some are partial skeletons. Among them, an unidentified toddler and a young Asian male. The profile of the killer seems to widen, and the sense of fear only deepens. The search effort is massive. Hundreds of officers and volunteers comb the marshland with cadaver dogs and helicopters. The coastline is scoured inch by inch. Each new discovery devastates families waiting for news. Officers describe the grim reality of unearthing bag after bag of human remains. The investigation drags on for years. Detectives chase thousands of tips. They question multiple suspects, including local residents and former police officials. At one point, even a former police chief is eyed, though never charged. But leads collapse. Promising suspects are cleared. Evidence fails to connect. The trail grows colder every year. For the families, every passing year without answers is agony. Vigils are held. Photographs of the victims line candlelit memorials. Mothers plead into cameras for someone, anyone, to come forward. Their voices crack with grief, but the case remains frozen in time. On Long Island, the case becomes part of daily conversation. People lock their doors earlier at night. Women cancel appointments. Rumors swirl as fear seeps into the community. By 2022, pressure mounts and a new task force is formed. Led by local and state police with the FBI, they re-examine old evidence with fresh technology. Cell phone data, DNA testing, financial records, patterns finally begin to emerge. One breakthrough comes from a burner phone used to contact the victims.
The indictment against him reading like a movie thriller, saying Heuermann used at least 7 burner phones he would toss after his alleged crimes.
Cell tower data places that phone near the suspect's home, near his Manhattan office, and near the exact stretch of Gilgo Beach where the bodies were dumped. July 13th, 2023. Police make their move.
Task force has identified another set of remains originally found nearly 3 decades ago.
The suspect is Rex Heuermann, a 59-year-old architect from Massapequa Park, married, a father of 2. On the surface, his life looks ordinary. He designed office buildings in Manhattan.
He was taken to court this afternoon and said nothing to reporters. But Rex Heuermann did tell his defense attorney he denies all the charges.
He commuted on the Long Island Railroad. His neighbors describe him as quiet, polite, even dull. But investigators say his private life was chilling. Heuermann kept a cache of burner phones. He searched obsessively for violent pornography. He visited sex workers regularly while maintaining the facade of a stable family life.
Prosecutors have charged Rex Heuermann for the murders of Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello, all sex workers. And investigators say he is the prime suspect in the murder of the 4th, Maureen Brainard-Barnes.
Inside his home, detectives uncover more than 200 firearms locked in a basement vault, fake IDs, and hundreds of disturbing internet searches, some related directly to the investigation. DNA testing links a hair from one of the burlap-wrapped victims to his family. The evidence is overwhelming. Heuermann is charged with the murders of Melissa, Megan, and Amber. He is the prime suspect in Maureen's case as well. Prosecutors say the investigation into other victims is ongoing. The arrest stuns his neighborhood. Cameras roll as stunned residents describe their shock. For years, they had walked past his home.
Neighbors still can't believe one of the suspected Gilgo Beach killers was living among them.
Oh my God, I think I know who it is.
Never imagining it hid one of the most infamous suspects in American criminal history. The arrest brings headlines worldwide. But for the families, it is only a step, not closure.
Heuermann is a demon that walks among us, a predator that ruined families.
Shannon Gilbert's death remains unresolved. Several victims remain unidentified, and the possibility of more remains still buried along the coast haunts everyone involved. The case is far from finished. In September 2025, a judge ruled that Rex Heuermann will face all 7 murder charges together in a single trial. The court also refused to throw out critical DNA evidence. His fate will now be decided in one sweeping case that could expose the full scope of his crimes. The Long Island serial killer is one of the most notorious in American history, And even with Rex Heuermann behind bars, the question still hangs over Gilgo Beach. How many more victims are out there?